First of all, I'd like to preface that this video is not talking about Chinese players in War Thunder, nor will I get into the political undertones that some people bring into War Thunder. I wanted to be creative in the CCP acronym while trying to talk about the War Thunder community's problem with the Chinese tech tree. This is the crux of the discussion, and I will try to enumerate the roots of the community's issues with the Chinese tech tree, try to find a remedy or at least a compromise to make the tree acceptable. The roots of the War Thunder community's issues begin with its implementation in 1.919 Vision. The main issue was the copy-paste vehicles implemented in the lower tiers. At a cursory glance, it would seem that low-tier China was nothing but copy-paste vehicles. Sure, there are unique vehicles here and there at low tier, but it's an overwhelming majority that the vehicle exists in another tree. War Thunder is a game that prides itself in the number of unique vehicles playable in-game. However, the Chinese tech tree seems to fly in the face of that idea. So how did that exactly come about? Well, the Chinese tree was originally created for a Chinese-exclusive War Thunder client. For those who are unaware, China for the most part has their own client to comply with government guidelines. For this client, China is the only playable nation, and China has a bunch of mishmash of equipment from existing War Thunder vehicles plugged into the tech tree. The only unique vehicles in the tech tree were with the more modern vehicles like the Type 59 and Type 62 and the like. When the idea of importing China on the global server materialized in 1.91, the China tree remained virtually unchanged, with some vehicles being removed and new ones being added. But for the most part, the Chinese tree that had a mixture of vehicles in order for Chinese client players to try a lot of the technologies implemented in War Thunder remained intact. In my opinion, while the Chinese unique vehicles are nice, the amount of copy-paste vehicles is a disservice to the possible unique vehicles that can be implemented for China. And there are. The forums have a lot of possible uniques from low tier to top tier. The next issue is China having something what I'd call as tech shopping. The Equal Strike update, where the ROCAP got the F5 Freedom Fighter first before the US, the M60A3 TTS, and the CM25 are examples of these. Maybe to an extent the Type 59 could also be an example, since the Type 59 in-game is based on a T-54B, which itself is not present in the Soviet tech tree. The point is, tech shopping is when China receives newer tech faster than the native nations of such tech. The TOW2A and TOW2B on the CM25 arrived earlier in China than in the US. This creates a disconnect between the immersion of having tech that was exported from such nations unavailable on said nation. Now, Gaijin's fair solution to this is to give the progenitor nation better versions of said vehicles. The M60A3 TTS had Rise passive ERA mounted, albeit at a higher battle rating, and the US is slated to get the F5E Tiger II sometime this year, and the TOW2A finally arrived in the form of the M3A3 Bradley. My own opinion, this is a fair trade, but one that should not be taken too nonchalantly. These issues often lead to accusations towards Gaijin on what they say is China bias. Gaijin tries to rectify this by skimming down the Chinese tree editions per update. To this day, Gaijin still hasn't added the Chinese helicopters purported to be coming last year, a radar SPA for China, and the top-end aircraft for the PRC line is still a 9.7J-72. The Q5 models recently implemented had no air-to-air missile capability, and it was only in the Hot Tracks update that China finally entered the Tier 7 tree. However, if you look at the suggestion page in the forums for Chinese vehicles, a lot have been suggested, and a lot of them have made it into the considered category. Overall, I think China can be an actual viable tech tree. Gaijin would add more post-war indigenous designs and incorporate other nations into their tech tree like South Africa in the British tech tree. With the ever-looming aspect of Tier 7 aviation, I feel China will be a very interesting tree to observe in the updates to come. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please catch my Twitch streams every Friday at 8 p.m. GMT. This is Dr. MD. Thank you.